Business model is the rationale by which an organization creates, delivers, and captures value. So, what's interesting is that, when we talk about innovation today, as soon as you say, I've got an innovative new start, most people think of product innovation or technology innovation, right? But I think some of the most really interesting examples of innovation in the world of business today are actually business model innovation, not product innovation. So the jet engine business. So there's basically three airplane manufacturers in the world, passenger airplane manufacturers, right? There's Airbus, there's Boeing, and then there's Embraer. That's right, the Brazilians always want to get their company. And so if you're an airline, you buy your airplanes from either Airbus, Boeing, or Embraer. And then you buy the engines from either GE, Pratt & Whitney, CFM, or Rolls-Royce jet engines. And you buy your jet engines like any other piece of capital equipment. You buy them as capital equipment, you depreciate them, you handle all the maintenance on them, and every so many years you got to replace them like any other piece of capital equipment. So a few years ago, Rolls-Royce jet engines, they had the epiphany that maybe airlines didn't really want to buy jet engines. Maybe they wanted to just simply pay for thrust as a service, right? And so they said to airlines, tell you what, next time you need new engines for your planes, call us up, we'll bolt the engines to your planes for you. We'll handle all the maintenance and everything on them. And we'll just bill you, we'll just invoice you per hour of use. And airlines were like, cool, I love this. And it completely transformed the jet engine business. This idea of buying capital equipment as a service. It's not a technology innovation at all. It is somewhat technology enabled in the sense that what makes this model work is that jet engines today are covered with sensors. And the sensors measure all this operational data. They transmit it to the Rolls-Royce Operations Center. That it does all the predictive, predictive maintenance analytics and all the rest of that stuff. And they handle all the maintenance and everything. You just simply invoice the airline per hour of use. But it's fundamentally a business model innovation, not a product innovation. It's a different way of creating, delivering, and capturing value. Another example is Stitch Fix. So Katrina Lake founded Stitch Fix, San Francisco. She became the youngest woman to ever take a company public. I think she was 32 when they had their IPO. And again, it's just simply fundamentally, it's a business model innovation. She sells the same shirts and pants you can get elsewhere, but her kind of epiphany was, hey, maybe people don't want to spend all weekend at the shopping mall looking for clothes. Maybe they would just rather get a box every month with a box full of clothes that fit their size, their style, their taste, etc. You go through it, you keep the ones you like, you send back the ones you don't like. That's it. Billion-dollar success story. Again, it's just simply a business model innovation. It's just simply a new way of creating, delivering, and capturing value. You all know about AWS. Those of you who are as old as I am remember when you used to buy servers and actually have to install and configure servers yourself. When I founded, I've told you guys before, but the company I founded in 1999, we raised $7.5 million. We spent the first $1 million of that just buying servers, configuring servers. Right? Today, that's 10 minutes on AWS and you're done. Right, Michael? Again, it's a business model innovation. It's not a product. It's the same servers we used to go buy. It's just a different way of creating, delivering, and capturing value. Dollar Shave Club is a case study on the class website that I wrote up about Dollar Shave Club. These guys, Michael Durbin is the name of the founder. The problem that he realized should be solved was that guys hate having to go to the drugstore, the pharmacy every few weeks to buy razor blades. Pain in the ass. And he said, what if just a box of new razor blades just arrived for you every month on a subscription basis? So he contacted some razor company in Korea, private label razor company in Korea said, hey, can I buy blades from you guys? And I'll just rebrand them as mine and sell them on a subscription basis. And this razor blade company in Korea said, sure, we don't care, brand them whatever you want. He launched Dollar Shave Club, reselling their razor blades, branded as his, on a subscription basis. And 5 years after founding, he sold the company to Unilever for $1 billion. No product, zero product innovation. These are random off-brand razor blades from Korea. The innovation was the business model, right? That just offering them on a subscription basis. You don't have to go to CVS or Rite Aid and wait in line to buy razor blades. All of you men know what I'm talking about. Okay, so that is about business models. Now we'll talk about the canvas. So many of you have probably been exposed at some previous time to the business model canvas. It's been around for a few years. And I, of course, needed to create my own version. So I had created the Launchpad canvas, which is kind of a derivative of the original business model canvas. And the idea is that these are all the things that are going to have to work for your business model to succeed and thrive, right? And so, the idea is kind of think about all those different things and write them down, or at least write down your hypotheses. Because again, getting back to how I opened tonight's lecture, all these things won't be right, but hopefully you kind of make some guesses and then you'll figure out ways in which you can test those hypotheses as you go along. How many of you have been exposed to the business model canvas? Yeah, maybe a third of you or so. Yeah, great. So, same idea. Kayla wants to speak. And then Anu.
Oh, no, I was just raising my hand to say yes, I have been exposed to the business model.
Okay, got it.
Me too, same reason.
Excellent. Okay, so so when I was first exposed to the business model canvas, I was actually kind of skeptical about it. But as I got to use it a little more, I kind of came to like it, which is why I decided to create my own. But here's the two main things that I like about this notion. The first is it helps you make sure you're thinking through all the different things we did, right? That all of us, as startup founders, we're absolutely in love with our idea. And so we're kind of down in the weeds about how awesome our idea is and all the things all the features we want to add to our incredible app. And so it's easy to kind of forget about all the different other things you're going to have to think about in order for this venture to succeed. And so the canvas is kind of a nice way to remind you of all the different things that are going to have to work. And then the other thing I like about it is that, so the way any investor is going to look at your venture is where is the risk, right? Where is the risk? And the risk is in different places for different kinds of ventures. Sometimes the risk is on the market side. Will people buy this? Sometimes the risk is on the product side. Could you actually build this, right? Sometimes the risk might be on the economic model side, meaning, you'd have to actually get economies of scale that are pretty significant for this to work. Could you actually get those scale, right? So for different ventures, the risk is in different places. And if that's the way an investor is going to look at it, that's also the way you should look at it. Even if you're filthy rich like Julia is, and so you never need to raise any money, you still want to think through where is the risk. And so to me, the canvas is kind of a good way of thinking about, for my venture to fly, all these things are going to have to work, and so where is the risk, right? So here, sorry, connection lost. Uh-oh.
I didn't know I'm rich, but I forgot my PIN code, maybe, from my card.
Oh, that would happen, Julia? Oh, yeah. Okay. All right, so week one was really these top three squares, right? What problem we solve, what is our proposed solution, and why does it matter? Week two was about path to product market fit, and thanks to Tim Connors, we added on the channel part, the distribution part. Week three, which you guys just completed, the assignment about competitive landscape, and that's these three squares here. So alternatives, right? So what are the alternative ways of solving the problem that we solve? So when a customer looks at all the different ways they could solve the problem that we solve. What does that landscape of competitors and alternatives look like? And then positioning. So within that landscape of competitors and alternatives, where do we fit in? We're the one that's focused on millennials, or we're the one that's focused on seniors, or we're the one that's focused on immigrants trying to upskill themselves, right? So what is our positioning within the landscape of competitors and alternatives? Defensibility is the hard one for early stage prevention. So defensibility means, what do we have that would be difficult for competitors to copy, right? So ultimately, you want that to be a whole bunch of granted patents and exclusive distribution agreements and copyrights and stuff like that, right? For most early stage ventures, we don't have any of that yet. So, you need to just kind of make up something like our defensibility is that we are a passionate team full of young people. That's what we have that our competitors can't copy. Okay? So, for early stage venture, you kind of got to make up the defensibility part because you probably don't have 16 granted patents yet. But I think it's worth kind of thinking about nonetheless. It's worth thinking about the fact that ultimately, if you are successful, competitors will try to copy you. And so what is it that in the long run you could reasonably have that would make it difficult for competitors to copy? So that's the defensibility component. Week 4, which is this week, is kind of all those things and how do all those things fit together to create our business model. Next week, week 5, is all about spreadsheets. Week 6 is all about capital raising. So those are going to fit into those boxes. Week 7 is about marketing. So we've got customer personas, and top 3 benefits. What's the difference between features and benefits?
Engineers build features, customers buy benefits.
There we go. ELM gets an A. Right. Engineers develop features, customers buy benefits. So, Elon, when I put in top 3 benefits, when I put things like the megahertz and kilowatts and size of my LLM models, no. Customers don't give a shit about any of those things.
Yes.
Right. Right. So articulate what are the benefits to customers. Right. Exactly. And then week 8, which is our pitch night, we'll kind of combine all of those things together into storytelling. Tommy.
Anu has a hand up.
Anu.
I was going to say defensibility can also be described as barrier to entry in the market.
Yes, correct. Defensibility and barrier, well, not barrier to entry, more barrier to competitors copying, right? Or you're saying barrier to entry, there's a barrier for other competitors to enter your space, I guess, what you're saying.
Yes.
Yes. Right, so there are a few different versions of the canvas floating around. There's the original version, which was created by Alex Osterwalder, and then Ash Burin created a version he calls the Lean Canvas because the terminology on there matches up with Eric Ries's book, The Lean Startup. Now, of course, I've got my version, which matches up with my book. And so I renamed some of them. So for example, on many of them it says competitors. I changed that to alternatives because I do think it's important to think about, the question is, what are the alternative ways of solving the problem that your startup solves? And that includes both competitors, those are some of the alternatives, but there's also just other ways of solving the problem, so I changed that. And defensibility, I might have changed that one too, I forget. Maybe other versions that just simply says competitors or, oh no, secret sauce, that's right. Some of the versions say secret sauce, right? I know, sorry, start over. So the original version of the canvas has one box that says unique value proposition, and another box that says secret sauce.